Hi everyone, and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is your next lover. So details about who they are and when you might meet them or come into union with them. There are 4 piles to choose from, and I suggest selecting your pile based on the pile marker that sparks a memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 4, Boundaries, because the owl on this card reminds me of when I went to an owl cafe in Japan. I went a few times actually, but that is why I would choose that. So I will put the timestamps in the description down below. Feel free to pause the video now to select your pile, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, Intimacy, welcome to your reading. So let's get into who your next lover is. So we start off the spread here with this Queen of Pentacles. Immediately what I'm getting is that your next lover could be a Capricorn or have a prominent Capricorn placement in their natal chart. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or just generally they're embodying the energy of a Capricorn. So they could be someone that's very hardworking. They could be older than you. I'm not getting like significantly older, but maybe like a few years. This person also, one of the ways that they relate to you is they really encourage you to tap into like sensual pleasures. They really encourage you to kind of treat your body as a temple and find joy in like sensory things. So for example, they probably would really enjoy like taking a hot bath with you. This is the kind of person who probably has like candles all throughout their house or apartment. They really like trying new foods or really like decadent meals. So they might enjoy cooking for you is something that I just got, but definitely this person is very interested in kind of showing you the quote unquote finer things in life. So I'm also getting that they really take great care to dress themselves in a way that maybe invites like attention, not in a like people are staring because you look crazy kind of way, but this person really values like well-made, well-tailored clothing or like really nice fabrics, and I think people notice that and comment and say, oh, they dress themselves so well. So this person is like not wearing Shein, respectfully. Definitely this person's a little bit more bougie, but I think they have room to be. It seems like they've, this person feels maybe a little bit less experienced in relationships than the average person their age. Not that they haven't dated, but it just feels like maybe they have not had as many serious relationships, or they have some or had some unhealed traumas that were kind of keeping them from really like having the kind of relationship that they wanted, which I will get into. But because of that, I think maybe this person really threw themselves into their work. So I think probably they are financially well off, not like super rich necessarily, but definitely they are financially comfortable. And I think because they are, and they're also single, they're like, why not spend that money on things for myself to make me happy? Which is cute. That's a very nice energy to have. The next card we have here is this 9 of Swords in reverse. So this person also probably has anxiety that might be exacerbated by their workaholic lifestyle. But with this being in reverse, it indicates kind of recovering from this anxiety. So I think when you start dating this person, or maybe with your help, or because they have started working on this is kind of what brings you into union, because it feels like this person's anxieties about maybe dating were the thing that was holding them back. And so I think with you, they feel less nervous than they do around other people, because you put them at ease in a way that other people have not, which is why I think they really are drawn to you and why this person ends up becoming your next lover. The next card here is the Nine of Wands in reverse. And this is about holding yourself off, putting up your fences, put really high, not opening up. And in reverse, that would be overcoming that, starting to break down those barriers. So again, I think that you are kind of the first person that your next lover has opened up to or really been like intimate with in a while. And again, I think it's because they have some kind of underlying like trauma or self-limiting beliefs, or they have like a negative relationship experience in the past that has caused them to just feel a little bit abnormal when it comes to dating. And I think sometimes they feel the need to like over explain themselves, or they feel the need to like kind of divulge very like intimate details, or like, for lack of a better word, trauma dump in the past. Because I think in their mind that they're like, that's how I'm going to create a sense of intimacy. And I think because of that, maybe they got like attached to people too quickly, or they kind of scared people away. But I think this is, again, something that they have maybe recognized about themselves and they've been working on. I'm also hearing that you might have had the same issue. So maybe in the past, like you have liked someone or gone on a date with someone, and immediately you want to kind of tell them about your like past relationship struggles or what your traumas are. And there's nothing wrong with like divulging those details, but also I think there was a lack of discernment of who is worthy of like knowing that vulnerable part of you. And so I think maybe that is something that you two bond over here, is that I don't feel like I have to overcompensate by like, revealing my deepest, darkest fears to you. I feel like we can just get to know each other. And I also feel like you will respect, when I do divulge these things about myself. And the next card here is the Six of Wands, which is a card about victory. So definitely, I think, being with you, being in a relationship with you, allows them to really put past or walk past these anxieties about not being enough or not wanting to let anyone get close, because you two just really have almost like a telepathic communication. Like you can walk into a room and feel that they're also there without knowing beforehand. I'm also getting that you two are very cute together. Like people really kind of see you as a power couple, or like, you're like Pinterest worthy. Like someone would be like, this is my couple goals. With the last card here being the Five of Swords, coming after the Six of Wands, I think that this is kind of plays into each other. So this is victory over this Five of Swords. And Five of Swords is a card about kind of losing the battle, but not necessarily losing the war. So, I think maybe in the past they felt like when they did try to open up, they were just kind of revealing too much of themselves or giving too much of themselves over to people who did not deserve it. And because of that, I think it made them even more like wary of love and relationships. So as I said, I think because there is a comfort, there's an ease to the intimacy with you, this person feels a lot safer to open up and, take their time and not feel like they have to explain themselves. And so I do see them kind of feeling like, well, all those lessons in the past were just to make me stronger for you, the viewer. So I think that's very cute. Definitely this feels like a very healing relationship, and in particular, healing the mindsets when it comes to love. And this is all really reflected in the pile marker that you selected, actually, this intimacy card, because this card in particular is about, there are several ways to create intimacy. Sometimes it's about little gestures showing that you care, you think about someone, putting a blanket over them when they're fall asleep on the couch, or picking up their favorite candy bar at the gas station, or just telling them, a story about your childhood. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I'm going to tell you all of my deepest, darkest fears about myself immediately, which I think this person has learned. Again, not that they're hiding anything from you, but they want to focus on more positive things. They don't want to be so intense. They want to live a softer life. And I think that's also reflected in the Queen of Pentacles card. Because as I said, this person is very sensual. So I think maybe because they've had a rough time in the past, they're really trying to find ways to spark joy in their day-to-day life and bring that to you. It feels like this person has probably been in therapy, and that's what's going on. Maybe they've had this conversation where they're like, I feel like I scare everyone off because I can never let anyone get close to me, but then I trauma dump, and then they feel like they're close to me, but I don't really feel like I'm that close to them, or I feel like they don't understand me, and I don't really know how to make myself happy in my day-to-day life. And it feels like they've really flipped that around. And now once you come into union with this person, it's almost like they bring that attitude into your commitment. So your first love oracle card is Hammer, which says sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent working on it. So really, I think this goes with, as I said, this attitude of feeling like this person could never create, the kind of intimacy that they were craving. They wanted so badly to be understood and known that they were willing to kind of divulge information about themselves to people that maybe had not earned the privilege of knowing that information. But they're working on it. So instead of sabotaging themselves or making themselves vulnerable in a way that is maybe not emotionally safe for them, they have really been working on themselves. And I think that their union with you will also be another step in the healing process. And I think for you too, because like I said, I think maybe you two are mirroring each other in this sense. So it feels like both of you feel a sense of safety in the connection that you maybe have not in previous connections. The second love oracle card here is Talking, which says interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives, text, call, email, hovering. So this person could be someone that you meet online. So it could be via dating app, could be that they slide in your DM somewhere, or it could be someone that you've maybe known for a while, and maybe you just haven't seen them in person in a little bit, so they kind of reach out to you in that way. But definitely I see there being kind of not super long, but there is a courtship period. It's not like they just immediately ask you out. It's like they start talking to you first and you get to know each other a little bit, and then maybe they ask you out, versus immediate, I see you, I think you're cute, do you want to go on a date type of thing. But I think you like that more, because I think this person needs to take their time a little bit to feel more comfortable, more safe. And I think maybe that will be a change of pace for you. Because as I said, I feel like you two mirror each other. So maybe you are the type of person who really jumps in immediately. And so I think taking your time to create that intimacy with each other, to have an earned sense of intimacy, is going to be a real game changer when it comes to this relationship. So in terms of timing, when might you meet this person and or come into union with this person? I am getting 5 to 9 weeks. So 1.5 to 2.5 months from now. So you really don't have a long wait to meet this person. So congratulations, my pile ones. That is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you again. Take care. If you selected pile 2, abundance, welcome to your reading. Let's get into who your next lover is. So we're starting off the spread here with this King of Wands. So your person could be a Leo or have a prominent Leo placement in their natal chart, sun, moon, rising, Venus, but generally they are embodying this Leo energy, which is someone who is very life of the party, very charismatic, very bubbly. They might be extroverted. And it's interesting because this person actually has like a very strong sense of duality. So I'm getting that when they are like out in public or around their friends, they kind of become a social butterfly. And then when they're not, they really do enjoy like being alone and kind of having like a chill night in. But they can like turn it on or off, so to speak. I actually just heard like the Marilyn Monroe effect. I don't know if you've heard of that, but there's this story about Marilyn Monroe where she was with her photographer and they were out in public and no one was recognizing her, even though she was, you know, one of the most famous women on the planet. And she said something like, "Do you want to see me become her?" And the photographer just said yes. And so she just shifted something in her energy, and it was like all of a sudden everyone just stopped and kind of stared and started recognizing her. And her appearance didn't change. It was just the way that she was carrying herself and kind of the vibes that she was giving off. So this person is similar in that they have a really big sense of duality in that kind of way, where other people really see them as this very like interesting, life of the party, charismatic, fun person to be around. But then this person also really values their solitude. And I think that they have a lot more depth than maybe someone who has just met them would realize. And if you look at this card here for the King of Wands, the head of this person has a snake, and I feel like this is kind of representing something about them because, you know, snakes shed their skin. And so I feel like this person has layers. They're still the same person, but you know, if you just look a little bit underneath, there's something new to be discovered. And so I think maybe that adds on to the intrigue. I just heard the word intrigue very strongly. I think people find this person very intriguing. I'm also getting that they could be a very good performer. Like they might be a good musician or be able to play guitar or sing really well. But I'm getting that this person has a lot of friends, and actually I think that you might meet them through mutual friends or mutual acquaintance or be at the same party or something like that, and you might have heard about this person before. Like maybe someone has mentioned them in passing or said, "Oh, I had so much fun with this person," or "They're so attractive." Because that's another thing with the King of Wands, is that this person is probably very physically attractive. They could be athletic in some kind of way, or maybe have like an athletic build. And as I said, they do have the duality to them that's represented in this next card here, the King of Cups, which is a Scorpio card. So they could also be a Scorpio or have a prominent Scorpio placement in their natal chart, sun, moon, rising, Venus. But the King of Cups, in comparison to the King of Wands, is much more subdued. This person is a lot more reflective and a lot more patient. So they have these two sides to them. So I think the King of Cups is the side that you would get when you were alone, which is someone who is possessive, very protective, emotionally open, very poetic. They might enjoy reading, or they might talk about their emotions in a way that seems almost like musical or a poem. Like this person has a really good way with words, and this person also as I said, is very patient. They're generally very kind. Like, I don't think you would ever hear them talk poorly about someone unless it came to like someone who had done something bad to someone that they care about, like their friend or family member. Then they'd be like, I hate that person. But generally, they're not very critical of other people because this person's pretty laid back, and I think it takes a lot to actually get them riled up in any kind of way. They really enjoy being near water, like going to the ocean, going to the sea, going on a lake. This person also can sometimes be a little bit broody. So that's the other side that maybe people don't see, is that I think sometimes this person's like social battery gets drained and they're like, I just want to be by myself. Or, I think everyone has bad days where they feel off, and they, feeling off just kind of exacerbates maybe these beliefs or feelings that you have. So I think probably in their lowest moments, this person is like, oh, no one actually likes me or knows me. They just like when I'm like fun. Very like Liability by Lord vibes. But not all the time. I think this person, generally speaking, is pretty optimistic. Because that's something that's really coming through strongly in this file, is that this is a very like grateful person. This is someone who's very gracious. They consider themselves to be very lucky for like the things that they do have in their life. And I think they express it pretty well. And that's kind of coming through also in this next card here, this Three of Cups, which is a card about all the ways in your life that are abundant, all of the friendships, all of the familial relationships, all of the fun you get to have, all of the things you have to celebrate. And so, again, I think this person is pretty optimistic, and I also think they are very, very close to their friends and or family members or their chosen family. They tend to be very loyal to those people. With the Two of Wands here, I'm also getting that this person is a planner. So they might secretly be a little bit type A, which maybe goes with more with this King of Cups. Who they are in private, someone who's a little broody, very reflective, very much like deciding what they want and going after it. Whereas I think to someone who doesn't know them that well, they come across as more like laid back. And I do think they are laid back in the sense that they're not quick to anger, but they're not laid back in the sense that they do like to have things planned. They like to feel a sense of control. And so how would that manifest in your relationship? For example, this person would really enjoy planning like dates. This person is the kind to be like, I'm going to plan out the whole weekend. Like, we're going to go eat here, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to walk by this place, and then we're going to go look here. They might really enjoy going on like weekend trips to close by cities or states or countries or towns, wherever you live, and kind of planning out an itinerary for that. But this person definitely always has a backup plan. And I think people really respect that about them, because this person feels so reliable, which I think is one of the reasons why they have these really great friendships, because they are loyal, they are reliable, they're fun. They're also really good listeners, I'm hearing. So I think because of that, they have really amazing relationships with the people around them. The last card here is the Six of Pentacles, which is a card about generosity. So actually, when I looked at this card, I heard, I was listening to the podcast, My Favorite Murder, earlier today, and forgive me, I can't remember the name of the person that they were talking about, but basically there were there's this guy who developed, I guess, contracted HIV in the 80s, and because back then it was basically a death sentence, he thought that he was kind of on the verge of death. He didn't think he was going to live that long, so he was like, I might as well, make the most of the few months that I have left and just try to have as much fun as possible with everyone around me. So he was going out and like buying everyone dinner and throwing parties and just having as much fun as he can. And I don't think that this person is doing that in the sense that they think they're, live fast, die young, but they feel like I only have one life to live and I want to have as much fun with these people as possible. I don't think that they're irresponsible financially at all, though, if that's a concern for you. I'm not getting that. It's just more like if, their friend was hungry and they only had $2 to their name, they would like split a Big Mac or whatever. So, this person's generous and they really, as I said, would give a lot for their friends and family. And I think they give a lot to you. Their love language might be gift giving. And in particular, they might like gifting flowers, or they might enjoy like getting you a nice bottle of wine or art. I think they're really big fans of art. They also enjoy traveling, so they might gift you with like an international trip somewhere. And I think all of these things are coming through in the pile marker that you selected, abundance. And this particular card is about abundance, which most of the time when people hear that, they think financial abundance. And I don't think that this person is in poverty, but I'm not really getting that they are, above and beyond like the average person. I think this is more speaking to the abundance that they have in their life. Because as I said, this is someone who is very grateful for everything that they have. This is someone who really enjoys practicing gratitude, who has a lot of very close friendships, who has a lot of people that they can rely on, and someone who is very generous with their energy and their time and their love. So this person has abundance in their platonic relationships, especially. They could also have abundance in maybe the experiences that they've gotten to have, and maybe that's something that draws you to them, because it seems like this person's probably filled with stories. Maybe this person has traveled a lot, and so that's one of the reasons why people like talking to them, because they like hearing all these stories about all of these things that they've done. So the first love oracle card here is the butterfly, which says relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, and growth. So this could be someone that you already know and maybe are just friends or acquaintances with. Like I said, this could be someone who's kind of like a mutual friend with one of your friends, and maybe you've heard of them or you've just seen them in passing and thought they were attractive, but you start to get to know them more. For others of you, this is just kind of the nice transformation of like meeting them and then starting to date them. The second card here is Girl Talk, which says time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, and having fun. So again, I think for a lot of you, you are meeting this person through your friend, or maybe it could even be like a blind date, like one of your friends tries to set you two up. But I'm also getting that you talk about this person with your friends a lot, because maybe you were just immediately very attracted to them. But you have a lot of fun with this person, because as I said, they kind of take the pressure off of you. They really enjoy planning things and they enjoy giving you things. So this is the kind of person who would be like, I really want to plan this wonderful like date with you this weekend. I just want you to show up and be there. And then they really turn on the charm. I think you really appreciate that and like that. So when might you meet and or come into union with this person? So for some of you, I'm getting as soon as the end of this month through January. So in like the next 3-ish months. And then there's a select few of you, and I know you don't want to hear this, that I think would be not this upcoming summer, but the summer of 2025. So 2 summers from now. But this is a timeless reading. So if you're not watching this when I initially put it out, I would say towards the end of the year, whatever year you're in. So I would say like the end of October through maybe the start of January. Or I would say in like late July, early August, a year or two from where you are, or however close it is. So if it is, a year and a half away, I know that seems like a long time, but really it's not that long in the grand scheme of things. Just a little, little blimp. So that time will go by quickly. And I think this person is well worth waiting for. Honestly, they seem really amazing. But for some of you, it is really soon. So we'll see from my pile twos. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put on a new video once a week. Thank you again. Take care. If you selected pile 3, sexuality, welcome to your reading. Let's talk about who your next lover is. So we're starting off your spread here with this Wheel of Fortune. So this person could be a Sagittarius or have a prominent Sagittarius placement in their natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I get the sense that this person has recently kind of come into some money, so they could have been promoted at work. I'm getting very strong like workaholic energy from this person, or they could have gotten a new like higher paying job, or they could have inherited some money. But definitely they're trying to hold on to that capital. I'm also getting that when you meet this person, you feel like you're very lucky. It feels like you've struck lightning. Like the chemistry between you two is kind of insane where you're like immediately attracted. If you believe in love at first sight, it might be one of those situations. This person can be like very stubborn though, and to be honest, I don't think that this is someone that you will be with forever. I don't think that this is your soulmate, but this is someone who I think you will have fun with for the most part and learn some lessons from. The reason why I say this is because this person has kind of a cyclical up and down nature about them. This person sometimes makes you feel like you are on top of the world, and then other times you feel kind of like sidelined in the relationship, because as I said, this person does have kind of workaholic tendencies, and so you might feel like you don't get the amount of attention that you want, or you don't get the amount of intimacy that you crave with this person, because they tend to hold not just you, but I think a lot of people in their life kind of at an emotional distance. And the next card here is the Devil. So this person could also be Capricorn or have a prominent Capricorn placement in their natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This person, though, really has like an obsessive behavior about something. And for most of you, I do think that this is their job, because we have the 8 of Pentacles next, which is really about your work. So for a lot of you, I do think they are just very extreme workaholics. But also with the Devil here, I'm getting that the sexual chemistry between you two is crazy, like off the charts. You have very immediate physical attraction to the point where you really don't want to like stay away from each other. It's like you almost keep going back to each other. Actually, this could have been someone that you have already been with in the past, and maybe you were like, we shouldn't be together, we're like not good for each other, we're a little bit toxic, or it's never gonna go the way that I want, but you just keep making your way back to each other because the attraction is so strong. And I feel like it's one of those things that like none of your friends understand, but you're like, you just don't get it. Like it's like it's like two magnets, like we're just being slowly like pulled next to each other, and then we just slam into each other until someone like separates us or something separates us. But yeah, definitely this person and you have a very strong attraction to each other, but they have other stuff going on in their life that takes up a little bit more of their attention than you feel comfortable with. And again, for most of you with this Eight of Pentacles next in your spread, I do think that it is their work that occupies a lot of their time, or they're trying to build something in their lives. So it could be that they have some kind of hobbies that they focus a lot of time on. But generally, it feels like when you're together, they're so present and you have so much fun together. And then when you're apart, it's like, did this person forget about me, or did I just like imagine them? Like, what is going on here? I'm getting that for some of you, you again could have known this person for a while. You could have even like met when you were younger, like teenagers or something. Because looking at this Eight of Pentacles card, I heard like stories that we had as children. So maybe not necessarily children, but I feel like there's shared history here for most of you. And with the next card here being the Maiden of Swords or the Page of Swords, I think this is representative of you. So you could be younger than this person, but I think you have this uncanny ability to kind of get them right in their like Achilles heel, right where they're vulnerable. Not in a mean way, not like you're trying to cut them down, but I think because this person does hold people at an emotional distance, you just have the clarity to kind of see through all of that. Like, you know what they're doing. You know that they're intentionally trying to like avoid being vulnerable. And I think you're very good at calling it out. You're very good at like verbalizing your thoughts and emotions. And so sometimes when you like say things, it's like you're just like chopping them down. Like, they do not want to hear it because you are just too observant. You're too, especially when it comes to them, because I do think you have such a strong connection. It's like, of course, I understand exactly what you're doing. Like, I know why you throw yourself into your work, or I know why you're afraid of like taking this further. I know why you're treating me this way. I know why as soon as you feel like close to me, you start like running away. It's because you do not want to be vulnerable for whatever reason, but I don't deserve that. So again, I do think for a lot of you, you have already had this cycle with this person. For others of you, this might be a new person who is just, someone that you maybe have a lot of chemistry with and you have fun with, but you kind of learn this lesson that chemistry does not necessarily equal compatibility. So with the Tower, at the end of your spread, first of all, I think this person's a lot taller than you, like significantly. Like, when people see you together, they might point out the height difference. But the Tower is things kind of, it's egos shattering. It's things that are not stable crumbling down. So first of all, I think you, as I said, as someone who can kind of see through this person and who can be very like succinct with the way that you phrase things, you make this person feel exposed in a way that they are not used to or maybe not comfortable with, and that kind of brushes against their ego. Now, whether or not they learn how to deal with that or cope with that or decide to grow with that is another question. But with the Tower, I do think that this is something that does fizzle out eventually, because you realize that you can't really build anything on this, even though you would like to. There's just not enough stability in this connection to take it all the way. This is definitely more of like a fling. So you can take the lover part very seriously. And with the pile marker you selected being sexuality, I mean, come on. like that's what this relationship is. It's just so like raw and passionate and charged. And with your Love Oracle card, the first one is karmic relationship. So fleeting, triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. So again, I think this is kind of a lesson for you, because you shouldn't not experience something because it's not going to last forever, if it's fun for you or if you just want to try it and see. But I think you kind of trigger something in this person because they feel very vulnerable under your gaze. And I don't know if they're just ready to cope with that or not. And I think maybe you also feel a little bit triggered by this because you feel like, I feel very important to you when we're together, but when we're apart, it feels like I'm not even, on your list of things to care about. And so again, it feels very like cyclical. So you might actually come back to this person a few times before you end up fully separating. Second card here is the Runner, which says runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, and listening to ego. So I think this person's the runner. I think you might be a little bit of the chaser here, where you are kind of trying to get this person to want more with you than just a fling, to want to settle down. But I don't think this person is ready for that because they are not ready to admit to themselves that they have a fear of emotional vulnerability, a fear of intimacy, as it says on the card, that they have a level of codependence where they maybe rely on you for emotional satisfaction when they're not preoccupied with these other things that they have thrown themselves into. So like their job, it's like when they're alone, when they have nothing to focus their mind on, I think that they feel poorly about themselves, and so they almost are using you as a distraction. Which is not to say that they don't enjoy being around you. I think this person, as I said, is very attracted to you. They do like you, but are they someone who is going to be able to give you what you want emotionally in the long run? No. But I also think that this is a lesson that you need to learn because it is, as it says in this card, a karmic relationship. This is, a lesson that you are meant to go through to prepare yourself better for the person that you are meant to be with in actuality. So don't be disappointed by that, When might you meet this person if you haven't already met them? If you haven't already met them, or when might you come into union with this person for the first time or again? We have like the end of the year, very close. I would say end of November through like end of January. So 2 to 3 months from now. But yeah, very close by. So prepare yourselves, my pile threes. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you again. Take care. If you selected pile 4, boundaries, welcome to your reading. Let's get into who your next lover is. So we're starting off your spread here with this Knight of Wands. So your next lover could be a Sagittarius or have a prominent Sagittarius placement in their natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Some other signs that I'm picking up here are Capricorn and Gemini, but I'm feeling most strongly for your next person, Sagittarius. So this person, even if they don't have one of those placements, they're embodying this Knight of Wands energy, which is someone who is extremely attractive, specifically to you, someone who is charismatic, fun-loving, adventurous. Definitely they like to experience new things, and I think that they will definitely be the first person to approach you versus you having to get their attention. This is someone who goes after what they want, and most of the time gets it because they have charm and people really like them and enjoy being around them. This person could make you laugh a lot. They tend to be kind of like class clown energy, or just generally, they really help round out like a friend group or a party or something because they can just really get along with most people. And so I think when you first meet this person, again, you're very like physically attracted to them. But at the same time, I think you might have some wariness because you have this fear that because they are so friendly that they probably, maybe they're not flirting with you. You think, oh, well, they talk to everyone like this, so I don't think they're actually like feeling anything towards me. Or you feel like maybe they are attracted to me, but they are also attracted to everyone else. And so I can't trust them. Actually, I know someone like this. He is so charismatic, so like personable, so naturally flirtatious that I think like every person who meets him is kind of like a little bit wonderstruck initially, because there's just something so personable and it feels so like intimate, but then you realize that's just the way he is. Like he's like that with everyone, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's not that he's like playing you, but I think that's maybe the fear here, is that this person is just like that. They just have the riz like that. Like, but I think the other good news about this person being kind of like very personable, maybe extroverted, is that they really get you to come out of your shell, because I'm sensing that for a lot of people that are in this pile, you are very like hesitant to open up or give someone a chance when it comes to like romance or love, like a fling, whatever, because you tried very hard to like maintain your boundaries. The next card we have here is the World. So this person that we're talking about, your next lover, could be older than you by like kind of a significant amount, like enough that other people might comment on it. I'm also getting that they could be from a different place than you. Like they could have been born in a different country, or they could have just moved to your town or city and you meet, then. But it was like, of course we didn't meet before because we lived in separate places. But this person, I think this is a long-term relationship. This is a significant relationship for you all, because the World is the last card in the major arcana of the tarot. This is like a real culmination of a spiritual journey, and it feels almost like a reward for having gone through a lot of strife in your past relationships, is what I'm hearing. You have been disrespected, and I think you needed that disrespect in order to kind of learn how to better stand up for yourself in relationships, and that is what kind of paved the way for this person to come in for you. And that's really reiterated in the next two cards here. We have this Maiden or Page of Pentacles and the Witch or Knight of Swords. So I'm getting that the Page of Pentacles represents you all, how you used to be in relationships, which is someone that has a lot to give and is very giving, but is a little bit naive about it. I think that you gave too much of yourselves away to maybe people who did not deserve it, or did not reciprocate that effort, or did not want that effort for whatever reason. And I think that made you feel very like small and naive in the past, or a little bit used, because the Page of Pentacles in a love reading has this real energy of someone who feels like they have so much love to give, but they have no one who will like let them love them, It's very like Silver Springs, Fleetwood Mac. Specifically the lyric, "I know I could have loved you, but you would not let me." It feels like you in the past have really tried to give your whole heart to people, and it feels like it's just been crushed and stomped on. But then I think through this next lover of yours, and also just from your own personal growth, you are kind of transformed into this Knight of Swords, which is someone who is very certain about their deservingness. They're certain about what they want. They know how to speak that into existence. They know how to say what they will and will not accept. And they're not afraid to walk away or go towards the thing that they want. So you could be a Gemini or have a prominent Gemini placement in your natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And I feel like you've done some of this transition on your own, but I think through this next partner, it really culminates in that, because this particular partner is really big on independence and boundaries and like respecting each other. Not that they would be, independent in the sense like, don't talk to me, we need to be nonchalant, but like independent, like they would not want you to give up your hobbies or your friends or all of these other aspects of your life to be with them. And they don't want to do that for you either. They think there's a certain level of independence that makes relationships thrive. And I think this person is also very self-assured because they have a high level of confidence, and that rubs off on you a little bit, especially because I think this person is also very complimentary towards you in a way that maybe you are not used to, or they give you a lot more in terms of like reciprocity than what you are used to in romantic relationships. And so it feels like this person helps you to kind of raise your standards a little bit, or feel like, actually, yeah, there are people who will meet these standards. Like, I'm not being too much by asking for love and reciprocation and respect, and to, be told that I'm liked or lovable or whatever. So, again, this person also can be very like protective of you. I think if you came home and told them that someone like disrespected you at school or work, they would be so angry and want to like, give the person a piece of their mind or whatever, because this person really is very fair, and they do not like disrespect at all. They do not like people using their words to cut down others. And as I said, this person is very good at communicating in general. They communicate their boundaries. They communicate what they like about you. They communicate what they want. And so you never are left guessing. If you feel like you are not sure what like someone feels about you, well, first of all, I don't recommend like still pursuing them anyway. But it's not this person because they will make it known that they are very attracted to you, and they want to be with you, and they want to date you, and they think that you're amazing, and they like these qualities about you. They can be a little bit of a chatterbox. They might also really like discussing like pop culture with you, like movies, and books and things like that. With the 10 of Pentacles at the end of the spread here, this is someone who, one, if they're older than you, I think they're already pretty established. They probably own like property or home, or they're pretty like settled into their life. But this is someone that you could, as I said, really be in a long-term relationship with. It could even be your person, period, that you spend the rest of your life with, because the 10 of Pentacles can sometimes indicate having like a family or a generation of family, having grandchildren, buying a house together, having pets together. This is definitely someone who has a certain level of permanence within your life. This is not someone where you, again, have to guess how they feel about you. You feel it in a very tangible way because this person, one, states it a lot. Their love language might be words of affirmation, and also they will follow up their words with actions. So I think you feel a lot safer in this relationship than you have in previous ones. You feel like it's more reciprocated. You feel like you are appreciated a lot more. And because of that, your self-confidence and your ability to stand up for yourself grows. And that's all reflected in the pile marker that you selected, this boundaries, which is a card about, boundaries obviously, but being able to maintain those healthy lines within a relationship and not sacrificing yourself or your well-being in order to try to please another person, which I think is what has happened for a lot of the viewers of this pile in the past, where maybe you were like breaking your back to try to get, a breadcrumb from the people in your past romantic relationships, and this person kind of assures you that you do not have to do that they like you regardless of how much you are doing for them, because their love for you, their attraction to you is not based on how useful, quote unquote useful, they think you are to them. just a change of pace. And then I think that also makes you shift your mindset a little bit and think that I don't have to earn love. I do not have to work to deserve love. I am just deserving by being. And so that feels like a really freeing mindset shift in this next relationship and when it comes to love in general. Your first love oracle card here is Passion, which says insane chemistry, liking each other equally, and having fun. So yeah, I definitely feel like there's a lot of chemistry. The Knight of Wands is someone who is extremely charismatic, extremely attractive, extremely seductive. So definitely I think you feel that for this person immediately, and I think they feel it for you, and that's why they come up to you and try to ask you out or talk to you or ask your name, whatever it is. And then liking each other equally is also important, because I think in the past maybe you have settled for someone who kind of treated you like they didn't like you. And so now it's a completely different game, you know. It's like it feels so different to you. And it's a lot more fun. You don't feel like you're constantly in this mode of having to impress someone or prove that you are worthy of being loved. You can just relax and enjoy the company of this person and the presence of this person. The second love oracle card is Sunglasses, which says watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focusing out. So I think this really speaks to you in the beginning, kind of watching them, trying to see what's wrong, or if they're like playing you or using you, because it's hard for you to open yourself up and trust. And I think part of that is you feel like this person seems really amazing. And I think for a lot of people in this pile, there are self-esteem issues, specifically when it comes to love, where you feel like maybe you are not deserving of a great person who just loves you. It seems suspicious to you. And so I think especially in the beginning of this relationship, you were kind of looking out, watching for the signs, and pretty anxious about it. But I do think obviously eventually you get very comfortable. This person starts to feel like home to you. So when might you meet this person or come into union with them? For most of you, I am getting in a few months, actually. So I would say end of November through the end of January is kind of the prime time of when you might meet this person. For a select few of you, I'm getting that it's a little bit later out, maybe like the beginning of August of this upcoming year. But this is a timeless reading, so if you're not watching this whenever I put it out for whatever reason, I would say your next, the next December, January that you have, or maybe the next August you have, but like a year later. But again, timing is really up to the universe. Sometimes it's all in divine timing, so take that with a grain of salt, just a suggestion of when it might happen for you. So that is it for you, my pile fours. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you again. Take care.